Have you been wondering when your favorite Royal Caribbean cruise ship is actually going to restart cruises? I've got all the details because Royal Caribbean has made a big announcement about which ships are going to be restarting and when. Up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We finally know when the rest of Royal Caribbean's fleet is going to restart cruises. Now, Royal Caribbean's been able to restart sailings this summer on a number of ships, and that's fantastic news. In fact, I've been able to go on some of them, but there's been many questions about the rest of the fleet. What about ships like Explorer of the Seas, Liberty of the Seas, or even Enchantment of the Seas? There's many questions that have been out there, and for a while, it's really just been there's going to be more news eventually. Well, today is eventually. Royal Caribbean announced this week that it has plans to restart cruises between now and spring 2022. Now, Royal Caribbean has always said it's going to be a slow, methodical restart for its cruises, but we now know a plan for every single ship in the fleet. So I'm going to skip over the ships that we already know about that are restarting this summer or already have restarted sailings. We're going to go straight to which ships are going to be able to restart. Now, there's 13 cruise ships on this list, and the restart will extend all the way into spring 2022. But by the end of this year, most of the ships will be back in services in one form or fashion. Each ship now returning will have new health measures, of course, have safeguarded the guests and crew, and of course the places they visit in different places. So just like the ships that have already begun to resell this summer, you're going to have those important protocols. All right, so here's where the restart looks like. First and foremost, let's start with one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, Oasis of the Seas. She will begin sailing from Cape Liberty, New Jersey, September 5th. Liberty of the Seas will offer 7-night Western Caribbean cruises from the port of Galveston beginning October 3rd. Serenade of the Seas will be offering 4- and 5-night Western Caribbean cruises from Tampa starting October 16th. And then in December, she'll be sailing 7-night Caribbean itineraries. Explorer of the Seas will be offering Southern Caribbean sailings from San Juan, Puerto Rico beginning November 7th. Navigator of the Seas, very exciting, is going to be sailing from the West Coast, 3-, 4-, and 5-night Catalina Island, California, and Ensenada cruises and Cabo San Lucas, Mexico cruises from LA beginning November 19th. Grandeur of the Seas will be offering 7, 14 nights Southern Caribbean cruises from Bridgetown, Barbados, beginning December 5th. We knew about this one already, but it was on the list, so I'm going to add it here as well. Ovation of the Seas, kind of interesting, 2 to 10-night domestic itineraries in Australia. That's right, you heard it right, from Sydney, beginning December 13th. Brilliance of the Seas will be offering 4- and 5-night Bahamas and Western Caribbean cruises from Tampa beginning December 16th. And Enchantment of the Seas will be offering 8-night Bahamas sailings and select 12-nighters from the Port of Baltimore beginning December 23rd. Now let's move over to 2022. You've got Vision of the Seas doing 10 and 11-nighters from Fort Lauderdale beginning January 24th, 2022. Voyager of the Seas will be offering 7- and 9-night cruises in Northern Europe from Barcelona beginning April 15th, 2022. Radiance of the Seas will be offering 7-night Alaska sailings from Vancouver, Canada, beginning April 29th, 2022. And Rhapsody of the Seas, looks like to be the last ship to restart, will offer 7-night Mediterranean Greek Isle cruises from Rome, beginning May 23rd, 2022. So if your ship hasn't been mentioned in this list, that's because she's already restarted cruises or is about to do so. So great news all around. Now, Royal Caribbean did a couple of redeployments as well. If you're looking at some of these dates, maybe, whoa. What about this sailing and this? There's some kind of gaps in the middle there. Brilliance of the Seas departing October 16th to December 6th will be moved for like-to-like sailings on Serenade of the Seas departing Tampa. Radiance of the Seas departing October 1st, 2021 will be moved to Serenade on the same date. And Rhapsody will be departing December 14th, 2021 to February 19th, 2022 to be moved for like sailings on Serenade departing Tampa as well. Now, the good news is we have this restart plan. This is the master list plan, right? Great news, except, yeah, there's more cancellations. While Royal Caribbean has basically drawn a line in the sense that here is when these ships are going to restart, unfortunately, it does mean more sailings have to be canceled before that point in the sand, so to speak. And there's a number of cancellations, and I'll have a link below this video so you can look at all these dates. I don't expect you all to jot it all down. I know that we've got the dates here up on the video, but I want to make sure that you'll be able to read it later on and refer to it over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. So the bottom line is this is the restart plans for the rest of the fleet. And if you're wondering about the new cancellations, why do they have to keep canceling more cruises? Well, don't forget, most of these sailings we're talking about that have been canceled are really sailings that were announced before COVID when the schedules for 2022 and 2023 were announced, and as a result, these sailings were just simply left on the calendar. They just have existed with inertia, essentially, up to this point. But now Royal is saying, okay, now we know exactly when these ships will restart, and we're determining that these other sailings just aren't going to make the cut at this point. Now, obviously, if your cruise was canceled, you'd have the opportunity for the usual options like a 100% refund, a 125% future cruise credit, and even some lift and shift options to be able to punt it to next year if you so choose. Again, contact your travel agent. You should have gotten a message from Royal Caribbean, or they have anyway, to let you know about your options there as it pertains to the restart. But the good news here is we finally know after, 16 or 17 months when Royal Caribbean will restart its cruises, all of its ships. This is something that we've been waiting since really March of 2020 when the shutdown was announced for just 30 days. Remember those days? Yeah, it'll only be 30 days. It'll be fine. Anyway, we now know when the ships will restart, and we have a plan of action going forward. Now, I should warn everybody watching this, just because these dates are out there doesn't mean it's necessarily written in stone. Obviously, things can change. If we've learned anything during this shutdown, it is that plans can change at a moment's notice. But if you're looking to be on one of the first sailings back, now you know exactly when each of these ships will be able to restart sailings. For a lot of folks, myself included, we didn't like the idea of making new bookings for sailings we weren't exactly sure are going to happen or not. Now we have a pretty good idea of what to expect. So if you want to be on one of those first ships back, you can start booking those cruises. And if the summer restart has been any indication, these will go quickly. So if you're interested in booking one of these early sailings back, now is the time to definitely do so, because you want to make sure you lock it in. There will be limited capacity on all of these sailings, especially when they restart. Royal Caribbean has said as ships restart their process of resuming cruises, they're going to start at a very low capacity and then build from there. But one thing I've noticed is that in that very limited capacity at the very beginning, there's very few stateroom options and they go very quickly. So again, if you're interested in doing that, now is the time to book it. Let me know in the comments below if any of these sailings are of interest to you. Which ships are you most excited to get back on? And a lot of our friends over in the Mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., very excited for that. And our friends in Australia, I'm sure you guys are equally excited that there's actually something for Australia on the docket. Who knows if it'll happen or not, but it's good news nonetheless. While you're down there below our video, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you don't already, so that way YouTube will let you know when you have a brand new video to share. And hit that little bell icon. That way, YouTube lets you know every time we have a brand new video to share, not just periodically whenever it feels like it. So hit that bell icon as well. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.